Yes, everybody, watching the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. Happy Monday. And football's back, so football can ruin our weekends, as always. As always. Football can ruin those bloody weekends. We've had a few weeks of it off, a few weeks relaxing, let England ruin our week. But now West Ham is back. And it's live, obviously. Not a great start. Opening day blues for Julian Lopetegui as West Ham go down 2-1 to Aston Villa at home. Not the greatest result. Not the greatest result. But as always, to anyone who's new to the channel, what we do is we do a review. We do a review of it. You know, we get your points, and we do an interactive type thing in terms of player ratings. It was. I've had time to decompress a little bit, and I actually watched the game for a second time because I did 5 things we learned, and one of them was about Mavropanos, and maybe I was a bit harsh on him. I'm happy to admit it when I'm wrong, but we'll come back to that when we do the players' ratings. Let's see who's got the chat. Matt's in there. It's the first game of the season. Not panicking. Not a good start. But ask me the same question after 10 matches. You're totally right, and I think there's. I think you've got to take the opposition into hand as well. I mean, obviously Aston Villa are a good side. They've improved. They brought better players in. I think the likes of Onana, I think, is an absolutely fantastic signing for them. And I was gutted because it's the type of signing I'd have loved at West Ham, to be honest. And I think there is that sort of, you've got to be caught, you've got to be like a little bit sympathetic to the opposition. There was some good bits, a lot more possession than we would do normally, or previously rather than normally, and some good performances. But I agree, and we'll talk about I've had another thought about the starting lineup. No panic, but wish we were more attacking with the new boys. If not working, could change in his ways in the left wing. Totally right. Dad's how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Should have started more of the new guys. People come in. Are more receptive to new ideas than those here before. Didn't like the setup of the first 30 minutes, but did get better. All the new guys were different levels of fitness. Bit surprised we had 2 new players. Why did Louis not even get on the bench? Well, there was no space for him. And again, as well, both were apparently available, but neither were on the bench. So there we go. I think the first 5 minutes when we gifted them a corner, I think it was typical, wasn't it? To be honest, mate, this new regime, new era, 4 minutes in, and we let a goal in. It's just so West Ham. Was it a cunning plan to prove we need more? That's half of what I think, Mike. I think looking at the starting lineup, typical new manager coming in. And you basically don't want to upset the apple cart straight away. You bring loads of players, so all the players thinking, oh shit, and you go, right, okay, there we go, starting 11. Pretty much, bar Matt's Kilman, who was a direct new one in. I mean, Rodriguez started, I think, because of Alvarez not being in the side. But Matt's Kilman was really the only one. And it's almost like twofold. One is, the way I see it, Lopetegui going to the likes of Soucek, it's your shirt to lose. And I think he lost it. That type of thing. Coufal, it's your shirt to lose. Yes, he brought Wan-Bissaka in, but it's your shirt to lose. Typical sort of manager way of playing with players. Trying to up their game. Didn't really work, backfired. But also, I think, same with the showing that we still need 1 or 2, definitely, new recruits. I thought Villa, a fast-paced outfit, hungry to get the ball. Has built system in 3 without breaking the bank. Well, they can't really. They want to buy Tony, but they can't buy Tony because they've overspent. Give the new coach, not time, I'd imagine. Sue found Suzuki to warn the bench. All of them had a pre-season. 25 not on the bench. Ridiculous. As much as I love about it, he was wrong 90%. Obviously not too fussed. Transition. Yeah, but the thing is, Callum, we are, football fans by their nature are knee jerk. You live and die by the last result. And I think you'll see a different. I think you'll see a transition, more a transition for the Palace game. Not saying we go completely whole hog, but I think a few of the newer boys come in. I think like Wan-Bissaka, I think Todibo come in potentially, and I think it transitions, and then after the international break, the likes of Alvarez will be back as well, and then I think you'll see our proper side for Man City, bar any international injuries. If people were truly honest, no one thought we'd win. I thought we'd have I thought we'd get a draw. We'll see changes of Palace. I think Duran has done his a massive justice. Keeps the Villa fans happy if he stays and puts another 5 minutes if he wants. I agree. What I noticed is the warming up. There was a lot of warming up at half time as well. Indeed, we tend to start slow anyway. We always do, don't we? After international breaks, beginning of the season, so it is what it is. I think West Ham are 3 players shy of having a really good squad, very, very good squad. Question, is Bowen our right backup? No. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And you talk about Freddie Potts, not Dan Potts. There we go. Fully agree, Russ. We turn over and the move. Exactly. And I think there was enough, for me, I think there was enough crumbs to see some positivity. Some people are never positive anyway, and that's fair enough. It's your prerogative. But I always try and see the positives, and I think there's definitely. I mean, the great thing is the team didn't perform. I'd say most of the old guard didn't perform well, but we've got their replacements already, so it's not like we have to go out and buy the replacements. I still think, as Adam said, a couple of players I think we're short, maybe for the squad, but when your squad's still, we got to a point where we couldn't put. Aged wasn't in the squad. Guilherme wasn't in the squad. Alvarez is still injured. We've got the likes of Murphy out, Marshall on loan. Still not a bad squad. We've still got a very strong squad. I'm 100% if we prove free, we will win. Indeed, going to be hard against Palace. I mean, yeah, at Palace as well. Nothing easy, particularly as they were a bit stuffed over the weekend. Hi, Steve. Hope you're well. Still sniffing around. Not done yet. Possibly, in relation to maybe Villa needing to sell if they want to buy over Tony in because they can't buy him. So we'll see. If we get Soler and Abraham, we're not going to get Abrahams, mate. Can still us going in for Tony, but we need to get rid of players first. I think we need to get players first anyway to get a new striker in. I think we've got enough for the midfield, in my opinion. Coufal, Soucek, and Antonio simply cannot start again. Saw an analysis of behaviour which showed that wasn't what he was after. I spent 5 minutes just watching him. He's so animated on the touchline. He's still clearly, and I think we had so many of the older players in, they almost returned to like factory reset. It seemed as soon as it kicked off. You could see some of the players, like Max, were like, no, move here, move. They were trying to get things moving, but it's almost like they had like PTSD and went back to like factory settings, like David Boy's settings, because that's how a lot of them played. Not the ones like Kudus. I thought he didn't track back as more, which to me shows a new way of thinking. So I think there's still big changes ahead, and I think those changes will be more implemented when he puts his people in the squad. Hello from Perth, says Harry. Good day to you, son. Team for Palace, Wan-Bissaka, Emerson, Todibo, Rodriguez, Bowen. Yeah, it'd be nice. That sounds a lovely team. The game I watched was not the worst player. Antonio were not good. Early days, we'll soon be running wild. Needs to start off. Rumours that Tony's being a right arsehole. Well, I think because no one's bought, no one's interested in him at the moment. And it must be thinking he must have left the summer going to the Euros thinking, right, I'm not coming back here. And then he's back. Then he didn't even feature yesterday, did he? So, very strange. Could have made a challenge, possibly. We need to select ASAP. Every team knows it. Totally agree. Just want to say thank you, Russ, for the support over there. Well, I need to come on. I need to come on to the pod. That's the ultimate support. Get me on. Nobody comments is paying 40 million. I mean, 50 million is the number. For a 28-year-old, although we have spent 30 million on a 28 million on a 31-year-old. I think Bowen is the right choice for captain. I don't think he's the right choice. But again, time will tell, Kim. Time will tell. I'm old school in my captains, but look, decisions to be made, I'll back it. And as I said, you got to think from a character perspective, 7-year deal, unless something tragic happens, he's probably going to be here for most of his career now. So, yeah. Kilman should be main captain. He doesn't have the Moyes muscle memory. That's what I'm going to call it, Moyes muscle memory. But I don't think Kilman's a particularly vocal captain by what the Wolves fans are telling me. Areola didn't look very confident. I think for me, he always needs a couple of games. I mean, the fact is, he's not going to have. He'll have Areola, he'll have Kilman and Todibo as his two, and until they're all three are playing, he's still trying to get his way together. That call is a complete mess. Midfield needs sorting, pace needed strength. I think it will take Bowen a while getting used to not having to track back. Yeah, because he was doing it quite a bit. I think because when you've got AWB behind you, you know he's one of the best one-on-one defenders in the Premier League. So I think that's makes sense. I think he'll won't need to track back as much. Todibo took charge, and Kilman could have been captain for the future. I think Todibo came in and made a really good impression. Did a nice little, cut a nice balls straight away. Looks like quite a physical player. From my vantage point, he looked like Kudus. I think what Kudus in there, but he's about a foot taller than Kudus. But just because he has a similar haircut as well. Right. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's do the player ratings. So what we'll do is with the player ratings is I give you my opinion on the player, and then you guys agree or disagree, and then we see what the numbers are. Simples. So let's bring up my notes. Yes, I do write notes. Okay. Areola made some good saves, I thought. I thought he made some okay saves. I agree. I think it was a little bit getting a new. I mean, he hasn't really had much of a. And get your scores in. What you think? He hasn't had much of a pre-season with Kilman because obviously he's been away. Made some good saves though. I think it was one from Morgan Rogers, who I really liked. A very good player in the first half. Bit flappy, but not too bad. Not too bad. You see that tifo step the right direction, fan grip behind it, but still quite a lot to go. Yeah, I agree. Wonder if Guilherme might get run out at Reading tomorrow night. Maybe in terms of, he might do. I don't think he will, but he might do. 5 the German needs feeding indeed. 6 5 average game, 2 saves, 6 iffy is the word indeed. Yes, 6, that's it. Good word. 6 Russie B also gives him a 6. Give him a 6. Okie doke. Let's talk about Vladimir, shall we? Let's get it. Let's rip the band-aid off with Vladimir. Caught in possession far too many times. And he was the way it's clear the new way of playing is very Guardiola-esque. The in essence, the right back's almost tucked in, which is great if you're that way inclined, but it's not him. It allowed Digne to go past. John McGinn went past, and then Duran got through later on, and that was all due to his poor positioning. Very poor in my ideas. If anything, it showed that he's clearly, Wan-Bissaka comes in, takes his position straight away. Vlad's been great for us, but for me, as I said, the tipping point. There's been a tipping point, and now the decline is rapid. It happened with Zabaleta. Good. Then he hit a tipping point and crashed down. Love of Somerville wants the right balance. Yep, I agree. 2 4 4 leaving Guilherme proves his signing was not a pro. He was bought for potential though, Steve. He's not built to come straight in the side. I think that's the thing we have to keep an eye on with Guilherme. He's bought for potential. The lad that he made half a dozen, a dozen so appearances really for in Brazil. 3 3 3 2 was not good, but then saved one goal. I think it's about Areola. 3 3 gone. I'll give him a 5 3 3. Just little patience needed for the team. I totally agree, Kent. 3 2 basic defender. I gave him a 4. Thought, yeah. I won't give him a 2, but wasn't great. Wasn't great at all. Who's next for us? Let's have a quick butcher's look. Let's go with Mavropanos. Now, as I said, I went back and watched the game a third time and watched Mavropanos. And I think I was a bit harsh beforehand. I'll admit, maybe I'm so keen about getting Todibo in that everything he does wrong goes, But he played okay. He had an okay game. Couple of big clearances early on. And he's unlikely to remain a starter, let's be honest. He's unlikely to get game time in the Premier League. In the cup competitions, yes, but I think very much not in the Premier League with, obviously, Todibo coming in. Glad has served his time well, won a trophy. Yep, agreed. 7, 6, 7, Greek salad, 6, 6, 7, average, prone to mistakes. I think they all were, to be honest. 7, 7, 7, 6, 7. Told you, ain't that bad. 7, like one of his better games. I think he was hampered by Coufal. I think if you had Wan-Bissaka next to him, I think I would have been less harsh. A lot of cover for, looks bad sometimes indeed. I can see a back 3 with team. Well, they went. That's one thing I was pleasantly surprised with. Rather than bang on the same formation and keep going, we were pushing for the win, or the draw rather, the equaliser. We went to a back 3, and I was like, fair enough. Not to waste it. Jack, Glemme is bought for potential. He'll be here. We're starting about back 3. Yeah, I think you lose a player, but I think there's the option there to play if we can. Mavropanos, where is it? I gave him a 6. Let's talk about Kilman. Let's talk about his centre-back partner. Obviously, home debut, or home Premier League, or Premier League debut. And I was really impressed. It's been a bit hit and miss, maybe because I didn't see it live in terms of pre-season. But I thought it was a really promising debut. Considering he had Coufal, letting in the things and all that type of stuff. I was surprised how much intercept 3 or 4 times he intercepted the ball. He sort of followed the trail of the ball and cut it out. Brought it forward quite a bit, particularly in the first half, which was nice. And seemed alert, and he was trying to impart the new philosophy. You could see, always looking for a pass, always, trying to dictate what to do a little bit. He obviously has worked with Julien before, so he knows exactly what it is. So I quite enjoyed his performance. And I thought, actually, all the new boys played quite well. Kilman, our best defender on the day, 7, 6, good afternoon. Danny Areola, 8, 7. Normal distribution was excellent. 7, one of our best players from June. 7, 6. My man. 7 says Mark. Peter says 6. Overpriced one. Go on, Max. Noel says 7. 7 for the killer. Took a while for Kilman and Mavericks to get understanding, but improved his match. But I don't agree that Maverick was covering a lot. Cure gets 6 or 7 green shoots, showing how good he is in the ball. And then you have to put because of his futsal background, because that's literally what when we were talking to Dave from Wolves, he said that's literally what everyone says, he's good in the ball because of his futsal background. 7 for Maxi Pad, 7 for a good game, will prove to be a good signing. Our best player, says Nay. I gave Max a 7. Game of 7. Next, we have got, I believe, Emmy. We got Emmy. Obviously, he's the when Todibo and AWB come in, obviously that's 3/4 of a completely new back line. Emerson's the only one who's going to be sort of staying there. Obviously, Emerson's going to bring likes to get forward, win enough space. Not his best game, not his most influential game. He he played Duran on side for the goal. Sorry, that before he scored, you know what I mean? Sorry, the shot before I meant. I think he needs that person in front. I think Kudus likes to do a lot on his own, which is great. I think Somerville maybe will be a bit more ticky-tacky with him potentially. As I agree, I think Kudus is wasted on that left-hand side. Steady 6 nearly scored. He did. He nearly scored. I mean, that's great to see. You know, the left back was playing right striker and almost scored. 6-5-5, 6-6, terrorised by Bailey indeed. Lake and Palmer 5-6-6, 7-6. Kilman can break, can drop into midfield and go advance. A 6 indeed. I gave him, if I can bring up the right one, where is it? A 6 as well. Let's talk about Tommy Soucek, shall we? Let's talk about Tommy Soucek. So, let's just say it wasn't his best game. If ever a player is unlikely to suit a possession-based style of football, it's going to be Tommy Soucek. It's not his fault. That's not the type of player he is. And again, that explains the reasons why getting him someone like Rodriguez, you know, into the side, looking at Carlos Soler to play that style of football. What he does do, he don't stop running. I can't fault him for his effort. He gets an A for effort. Thomas Soucek always does. He won the penalty. That was fair. Was off the pace. Could have got 2 or 3 in the second half. But that is what you get with Tommy Soucek. You know, you don't get marauding 30-yard pass, crossfield park balls. You don't get 30-yard bangers. Well, he did it once. But what you do get is more just grit, determination. You know what you're going to get with him. But if ever there is a player who's not going to suit the Julien Lopetegui way of playing, it's going to be him, unfortunately. Right. Wouldn't mind going for Marino for Villa. Third choice loan. Yeah, possibly. Go easy onto my will. 5-2-3-3-2. 6-3-6. Emery's slowing us down. Needs to go. I think he doesn't suit this way of playing. It's fair to say. Be brave and play ball plays. Yeah, indeed. 7. Love him, but stood out like a sore thumb. Can't play the system. Big Tom, divisive. Lead-footed, but can get you a goal. Under Jules, can't help feel it will be a super sub. I agree totally. I agree as well, Reg, with what you say. He's got a great engine, but he lacks in the departments that matter. He lacks in the departments that matter for this style of football. You know, he came in when we needed someone with energy and helped us stay up that season and has scored goals. And maybe sometimes his goals have masked the deficiencies to his game, maybe, because he's scoring goals. I think he's always going to get you a goal. He's always going to try and get you a goal. So that's why people play him. But he's not going to fit this system. Still managed to win the penalty and almost drew the game. I'm approximately 15 minutes behind you. Can you list... Russ, I'm approximately 15 minutes behind. Can you please list formation and kickoff at kickoff and after each of the subs? Okay. I don't understand. Anyway, so I give Tommy Soucek, he looked like some balls. I gave him a 5. Maybe a 4. No, I gave him a 5 because he got the penalty. Let's talk about Rodriguez, shall we? Let's talk about Rodriguez. Obviously making his debut for West Ham in central midfield. Obviously, I think it's fair to assume that if Alvarez was fit, whether Rodriguez would have played instead of him or whether Rodriguez would have played instead of Soucek, I think the second more than the first. I thought we had a solid game, not spectacular, but a competitive debut. He's going to get a fair amount of game time, that's for sure, under Lopetegui. I still think he's going to be the sleeper signing. All the big name, big money spent, I think he's going to be one which is very shrewd, a shrewd bit of business. He's very good last week, but then but then Celta Vigo, they played in La Liga. He's going to need to adjust to the pace of the Premier League a little bit quicker. It's more intense. So whether he plays 90 each week, I don't think so. Obviously went off after about 70 minutes, something like 6, 5, personally think got Kudus in the first half, had more space on the left. 6 hampered because of our playing, and again Rodriguez was one of those ones trying to instill, trying to not reset everyone back to factory settings. He was picking up the ball, trying to communicate. So I think once you get more, will be fine. But give him time. 6, 6, 6, 6.5. No half points this game. Felt on the ball, he was good. 5, really poor performance. Lopetegui out Moyes, wrong tactics, and the subs were baffling. Rodder's technically really good, but he's very slow. 6, 6. Well, I think for me, Rodriguez just needs to sit in front of the back 3 and back 2 rather. And I think that's where that's where he's going to be. 6, not impressive, not bad. Did you see Duran's celebration? Did it mean anything? I don't think so. I think it was all lip service. I gave Rodriguez a 6. I thought it was a solid game. And I think, again, when all the pieces of the puzzle are around, I think, one thing we need to do, we're usually okay when it comes to scoring goals. Defensive needs to be stronger. So, a complete new back 4, and maybe Rodriguez sat in front of that back 4, just quarterbacking, being that anchor, allowing Alvarez to come forward or maybe play a double pivot sometimes. That to me means a stronger defence, and it allows the likes of Kudus, the likes of Bowen, more space and more emphasis going forward rather than having to track back. So surely that's a good thing. Let's talk about there's no one better than Lucas Paqueta, or is there anyone better than Lucas Paqueta? Let's see. Obviously, scored the penalty. Was trying to be industrious. I agree with what you said. I think in the right system, with the right players around, I think he will be very good. You can see why Barcelona wanted him. Barcelona wanted him to be the next Busquets, and I'll take that in a month of Sundays. But you've got to play a system which has a Busquets type role in there. Got booked for a challenge early on. Yuri Tillemans kept on working. He puts the effort in. Went off 15 minutes. Good penalty. Trying things. I always like players who try things. Don't play easy. Take risks. And I think because he had Soucek alongside him, there was always that. He for me, that's why I would always play Rodriguez and not Soucek. Rodriguez and Alvarez maybe, or someone like that, just to give a solider base for them. He's better in the front forward. Yes, he can track back and get involved in midfield, but you want him pinging those balls over to Kudus and Bowen. 4, 5 lost the ball. Always lose the ball. They're 5, 5, 6 missing. 5, 6, 6, 5. Kudus, world class. Very good, Colin. Patman runs like a chicken. Gets a 7 from me. Gets a 7. Try and do it all when he should be. Always does, mate. Yep, I agree. Got butchered by players around him. 6. I think. What did I give him? I can't remember. Where's Paqueta? Gave him a 6. Let's talk about Kudus. Obviously, drift on the left, basically putting the left to almost like accommodate Soucek. We know that's not his preferred position. We know that's he's wasted on the left. I thought it was a really good battle between himself and Matty Cash. I enjoyed that a lot. Old-fashioned battle between two good players. He was always tirelessly coming forward. Strong. I mean, he's so strong. Every time he got the ball, Villa were shitting themselves. And I think he's going to have an absolute stonking season this year. Stonking season. Just ready for his transfer minimum release clause to come back into effect and someone buy him in the summer. What we got here? 8, 7, 6, 7, 8, 8. Matty Cash was brilliant. He was a good player. 6, 8, 8, 9. World class. Mo Stifle play out the left. He needs to play inside. Yeah, 10's where he needs to be. He's 90% going to be given the hammer of the year. 7, star player. 8, 9, 7. I didn't rate him that high. I gave him a 7, but my star player didn't score, but I gave him 7. Who else we got? Let's talk about Captain Jared Bowen. 8 had the better back cash and then switched to the right. Should have played as a 10. Mate, we know that's it, innit? Arsenal, I don't think we'll leave this summer. It's going to have to take in excess of £100 million to get Kudus away. Bowen, Captain Bowen. Not his best game. Could suggest maybe he's not up to fitness yet. He was covering a lot for Coufal. A lot of the defensive work was down the right-hand side. He's doing a lot of defensive work. Maybe if Wan-Bissaka behind him, he might have more confidence to go forward. Captain as well, so maybe he's bringing it upon himself to try and do everything. I don't know. It wasn't his best game at all. Offensively, very limited. Didn't do much. Wasn't a great game. Wasn't a great game for him, but he's our skipper, so there he is. Quiet one for Bowen. To be 6, one of his worst games. 5, poor game. 3, 5 from Matt. 6 from Ken. 6 from Stuart. 6 from Ludders. Nice to see Ludders. Adams a 5, 3, 6. Overall 5. 6 is a right back. Had to play right back. Hampered by a Coufal. Not a captain. 5. Had to constantly track back due to Coufal. I know. That's why I wouldn't give him up, because that hampered his performance, didn't it, really? 7 being played as auxiliary defender. Jim Bowen 5. I actually gave him, this might be a bit harsh, I gave him a 5 in terms of his performance. Now, that was, as YouTubers Ken allude to, the fact is he was having to track back quite a bit. But that hampered his performance. So that's why I gave him a 5. In terms of performance, wasn't great. Now, that will change with Wan-Bissaka behind him, without a shadow of a doubt. I hate doing it. Makes me feel dirty. Let's talk about Mikel Antonio, just to finish off. Was to blame for an Onana's goal. Totally lost the runner. Also, halfway through the second half, ball came across. He was about 2 yards out. Managed to header it pretty much over the London Stadium. I don't know how he did that. Clearly, the lad, he's been working on his first touch, hasn't he? Not. Worked hard. Again, same as Soucek. He'll keep going till he's run out. Now, it doesn't take very long for Antonio. But the writing's on the wall there, for sure, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the fault come in. Sorry, YouTube user, but if the fault comes in on Saturday against Palace and Antonio's on the bench, and then Antonio is used as an impact sub, which I think is how he should be utilised for the rest of his time at West Ham. That's how it should be. But not a great game for me. Was a catastrophe. Gave away indeed 4. Don't get me started. She's never been the first team again. 3, 4, 5, 3. Bambi 1. 3, 4, 3. 3. 4 from Ludders. 4 from Jay. Antonio 1. Number 9 who keeps drifting out wide. But I think again, factory setting. That's what's happened. As soon as that whistle went, Antonio returned to factory settings. So did Coufal. So did Soucek. So did Bowen. The only one didn't was Kudus out of our lot, and Paqueta maybe, because actually this new way is benefiting them. But yeah, didn't look much. Honestly, I spent force. Antonio gets a 1 for cutting the collar. A lot of them were cutting their. I noticed they cut the collars. I think Soucek cut his collar as well. Reminds me of an interview with Julian Dix, where he kept on cutting his collar, and every time he'd go to the next game, and the kitman would sew up. Sell him into the right money if people come in. That's the thinking. We're a bit strapped. Keep the hate, Russ. I'll do it in return. Keep up the hate. I'll do it in return for the great white hope. There we go. For Antonio, honestly, seen your blood a few times. Looks like he'll struggle. Let's see, mate. We'll see, man. Innit? We'll see. Again, the trouble is the two. So yesterday, on Saturday when they took on Folk, put him on. They took off people like Bowen, people like Paqueta, who would have assisted him. That's what I didn't understand. But we'll keep going. We'll keep going. We'll see what happens. Should I start YouTube users? They'll crap me up. All we get is impact signings. Let Antonio go to MLS. Well, again, if they buy him, takes 2 to tango. I gave Antonio a 6. And then in terms of the subs, I don't like to do the sub. I don't like to do them individually, but I thought JWP. Again, the same situation as last time. We took off JWP, we took off Paqueta, we took off Rodriguez against Celta Vigo, and we lost the midfield battle. Same thing happened yesterday. Saturday rather. I'm too used to playing Sunday games. The Folk came on, did okay, moved about, bit of movement, tried to link up play, reasonably steady. 6. I thought Somerville was a pick. 15 minutes, but looked lively, impressed. Ings went close with a header late on, and Todibo came on. Couldn't really give him a rating, but I thought he did okay. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing him. And that was one crumb for me, was that I really thought all the new guys who came on had a decent showing. Kilman, Rodriguez, Chris Somerville, Folk, Todibo. Also, we had 5 subs as well. When was the last time we did 5 subs? They all came on and had a good showing. And I think I've seen enough in Somerville to be excited about what's going to happen with him. And I think, as I said yesterday, frustrating that we had, the old guard playing, but we've got the new guard already on the bench. Come on. And hopefully we'll see that. Jimmy Somerville looks a bit lightweight. I agree, he looks a bit lightweight, but I think if you use him in the right context and you use him not trying to bundle his way through, but over the top, running at defenders, I think you'll see a good player, really good player. We're a little more dangerous than Somerville. Completed 10 passes, Areola. Completed. Soucek cannot play in the next game, surely. Areola got a lot of the ball, though, didn't he? To be honest. Bring in a WB immediately. Falcon to give him a chance. For me, Lopetegui was a 2 out of 10 starting line at the bench. And I think, for me, with the whole Lopetegui thing, I can see method in his madness why he did it. As I said, typical new manager comes in, brings in loads of players, rather than disrupt and cause disharmony. He's basically gone to the likes of Coufal, the likes of Antonio, the likes of Soucek. Right, you've got the shirt today. He's on the bench, ready to come on. Prove to me that you should start. And I don't think any of them did. I don't think Coufal did. I don't think Soucek did. I don't think Antonio did. I thought Mav did okay, but I think Todibo is going to give us a much better centre back pairing. I thought Rodriguez came in and did well. And I don't think any of the old guard could, after that performance, have any quibbles if they don't start against Crystal Palace. And that's why I think he did it. Made more passes than Soucek, which wasn't shocking at all. First phase for us is decent. The second phase needs work. would improve with Soucek. Wouldn't only improve with Soucek inside. Looks like a monster on and off the ball. Saturday was just like Moyes 2.0. Why is it everyone time wastes when they play us? Because they're usually winning, Ludders. That's why. It was so refreshing to see a natural left-sided player. He did. I'm spot on. There we go. Eze would destroy midfield. I watched him on Saturday. They're a good side. Crystal Palace are a good side. They got a good manager as well, and I think we'll be prepared for that. And I think we'll see what happens. It was typical Moyes ball. Nothing changed. I don't think. Yeah, but I think you'll see something's changed. YouTube. I thought more possession. You could see what some of the newer guys like Kilman and particularly Rodriguez trying to instill this new style of thinking, but everyone went to put fucking factory settings. That was the issue. What was the formation? Well, it started 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1 with Paqueta playing as a 10, Kudus on the right. And then towards the end, we went to a back three. But yeah, it was... So we did change it, I suppose. Look very strong, Stephen. Waving to you. Hope you're well. Get down to barbers. Oh, mate, honestly, I need a shave. I need a haircut. Well, people preferred starting players who were not match fit and risking injury is the reason Bowen came off early. Yep, I agree. And also, with the exception of Kilman and Rodriguez, I think Rodriguez was only started because Alvarez was injured. They brought in, everyone else had brought in reasonably late, and despite we went to bring him in early, we had a bit of patience. So I said, I think for the Palace, you'll see more new players in. And then possibly for the Man City game, you'll see even more. And then obviously you've got Bournemouth in between where it'll be a bit of a back to a squad side, I think. And then the game back on the 15th, Alvarez should be potentially back for that as well. So there we go. Should have scored after Kudus' Rabona. That was mental, wasn't it? More possession, but we did nothing. Yeah, I agree. But there was crumbs. YouTube, I know you're another type of fan you are. I'm very different. I'm more positive. I'll always try and find the positives. And that's how I saw it. There was some change. There wasn't so many long, hopeful balls up. There wasn't as many more where it tended to be passed more through the middle. So, thoughts on Potts and Lewis being left out of the bench? No space for him. No space for him at the moment. We're looking to move a few people in. He was available. Agard was available as well. Freddie, I think you might see go out on loan, potentially. But we'll see, I think, once the squad is finalised. Was he injured? No. He wasn't. He just wasn't picked. But as I said, Luis Guilherme is bought for potential, not to come in and be a first-teamer player. So I think you'll see plenty of... He'll get game time, but he won't be in every game. He'll grow. I mean, someone mentioned Reading, we got the EFL trophy on Tuesday. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets some minutes there, maybe, potentially. Someone mentioned it. He's 18, he can. Just to get some reps in these, and he might be on the bench for Saturday. I don't know. Villa's keeper distribution, even long balls fan the man. He was very good, isn't he? Right, peeps, I'm going to have to go. Can you see? No, I can't see him going on loan. So why was he played last week in pre-season if not been using the Prem? I don't know, Ludders. I'm just a fat bloke talking in a webcam. I'm not at Rush Green. He wasn't injured. We were told that he was available, same as Agard, but we'll see. I think he had enough cover on the wings with the likes of Somerville, and he was going to move Kudus and bring on JWP. So I don't think we needed him. Yes, Osman, that went well. Surgically attached to try and get those players in and out. Indeed. Sorry, I'm old enough to remember the attacking football. We should play like that. Long time ago, mate, innit? Long time ago. That's the trouble, innit? Long time ago, that is. Russ, we have to wait to see where we are to 10-12. Indeed you do. Anyway, keep an eye on Hammer's headlines. A few transfer rumours. And then we've got the return of the Academy show. That'll be on tonight. Wins for the under-21s. Narrow defeat for the under-18s. and a bit about loans, how the players out on loan, Patrick Kelly, George Earthy, that type of thing did. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Don't forget to give it a like as well. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you guys soon. Much love. Peace out.